Hi everyone, this is Norman Kochnick here for Eyes on Cricket with Norman Kochnick. Of course, we are here with a double header Saturday with two. You might have a bit of background music. I'm afraid we've got people downstairs that make a bit of noise, but I might add a bit of background. Anyway, the match this evening, of course, is between Punjab Kings and a team that really are showing how good they are, and they're not just simply basing their game around Josh Butler, but he's a major part of it, and that is, of course, Rajasthan Royals. In honour of Shane Warne, you might argue they're in great touch. The second match, match 53, is, of course, Lucknow Super Giants versus the Kolkata Knight Riders, who have been a little bit disappointing, actually. Lucknow, if they win today, could in fact be the leading team of the competition after 53 matches, which is a huge statement, especially seeing the fact that we've got 17 matches to go, and they're pretty much in good stead to be in the finals. Both Gujarat, who should be there, but have lost the last two matches, surprisingly. Last one against Mumbai Indians last night. They are in fact looking to be the first team to be a certain qualification. Lucknow Super Giants, followed by, of course, Gujarat Titans, who should go through with them. But the other team, of course, is Rajasthan Royals here tonight, who could also cement their berth in the top four. And you'd argue those top three sides will be the three that will actually get through. It's the fourth spot that's up for grabs. We've got the combination of, well, Kolkata Knight Riders, certainly one that could be in the frame. Certainly Delhi Capitals and Sunrisers Hyderabad, who form slipped away a little bit. And I'll probably honest, I'm somewhat of a slide. You would argue that, I think you would think that they are on the absolute slide. So my pick still is Lucknow Super Giants with Gujarat Titans combined with Rajasthan Royals. They're the three teams that I would argue are most likely to go through. I'm suggesting Delhi Capitals as a fourth team, but it could be Royal Challengers Bangalore or KKR as a possibility. So they're the three sides that are in some sort of contention here to be a part of it. So worth noting. Great to see the camaraderie that goes on between these teams as well. Sanjay Samson, of course, is with the Rajasthan Royals, and PBKS, as they abbreviate. It's unusual. Punjab Kings. I don't know what's wrong with PK, but anyway, they of course have Mayank Agarwal as their so-called captain. Now, in the team selections, I'm just noting that now that the Rajasthan Royals have got their side picked. Obviously, with the winning of the toss going to Punjab Kings, winning the toss, and they're elected to bat first, which is a pretty bold move. Mayank Agarwal said about his Punjab Kings, he said, "This is a good pitch. The conditions are hot. It might get slow and turn a bit. It was fantastic from Liam Livingston. The openers laid a good foundation, the platform that is, as well as which was very pleasing. We are playing the same team." So again, Punjab Kings have got the same team. In the case of Sanju Samson and his Rajasthan Royals, he said as captain, we would have liked to have batted first. They would like to bat first too. But we have a balanced side. It's a different challenge, so we will look to enjoy it. So that's a great attitude to have. Karun Nemes is out for Yashoawi Jaswal is in. Pity Karun didn't have much of a Guernsey. So therefore, the Rajasthan Royals team is as follows. The playing 11. Josh Butler, of course, there with Devdutt Padikkal, who are very good opening partnership with Sanju Samson as captain at number 3. Shimron Hetmeyer, strong batting lineup. Yashavi Jaswal comes in there at 5. Rian Parag at 6. Ravichandra Ashwin, of course, at 7. Trent Bolt at 8. Prasadi Krishna at 9. Yuzvendra Chahal, bowling well, is at 10. And Kuldeep Sen is number 11. Very good side. Punjab Kings, of course, they're playing 11. Has some well-known players there. Johnny Bairstow, who has not talked about too much. He's a rival of Josh Butler in terms of the opening spot for England. And that's this one. Shikhar Dhawan, perennial, one of the leading run scorers. I think he is actually either 2 or 3. I think his first is Kohli, then Shikhar Dhawan, and then Rohit Sharma. I think fourth is actually David Warner. So there you go. Top four ever in the IPL, not just this year, ever. Then you have Mayank Agarwal at 3, so he matches Sanju Samson in that position. Then Bhanuka Rajapaksa, the Sri Lankan, at 4. And then Liam Livingston. Well, that's a massive plus for them. Punjab with him there and with a great chance. Jitesh Sharma, of course, the wicketkeeper is in at 6. 7 is Rishi Dhawan. Then they've got Rabada, Rahul Chahar, 2 great bowlers. Arshdeep Singh, another great bowler, and Sandeep Sharma. So these 2 teams, are really well stocked for today's match. And even though you would expect Rajasthan Royals to win, we just can't say that anymore because the way that Mumbai have just defeated, of course, Mumbai Indians defeated Gujarat like yesterday. We've had Sunrisers go down. We've had a number of unusual results, and I think they will still continue this way. Punjab Kings, if they're going to give themselves a real shake at this, they're going to need to get their act together now. This is their game. This is the one that they're going to have to really come through to be able to prove their wares. So we look at the record. Rajasthan Royals had won the last two. They won 3 in a row, then they lost 2 in a row. A bit unusual. Punjab had a couple of losses, then a win-loss-win ratio, so they're kind of up and down. But yeah, there's still a very, very good chance that we will see a bit more unfold. So currently, Punjab Kings are actually 7th on 10 points. But if they win today, their net run rate's not fantastic, by the way, but they do win today. They'll be 1 game up on a few other sides, but they will, in fact, go to 12 points, and they will, in fact, temporarily sneak into the 4th spot if they win. But, yeah, with luck now, you would think likely to win. They'll join Gujarat Titans at first spot. In fact, will, in fact, go into not clear, but they'll, on net run ratio, will go as the leading side, Lucknow Super Giants. Now, this will make it, if they win tonight with their 4th win in a row, as Gujarat lost the last 2, that's not a good way to go in. Rajasthan Royals have lost the last 2 too. That's a slight slide. I wouldn't say a major slide. And RCB is currently in 4th, but you would have to still consider that Gujarat, Lucknow, and Rajasthan Royals are the 3 sides to go through. So we're looking at the situation here. Punjab versus Rajasthan. So if Rajasthan win, they go to 14, and they will, in fact, be on the same. If Rajasthan win and Lucknow lose, which you'd have to think is a bit unlikely, because, of course, KKR are coming 8th, so they're rather low. They're rather low. They had 6 losses in that. They lose tonight. They're on the same amount of losses as Chennai, so that's not good all round. Basically, if KKR lose tonight, they're almost going to join CSK and Mumbai Indians and not qualify, I would argue. And that would see PBKS, Punjab. They really need to win to really, they could jump it temporarily into the 4, which will be a bit of a feather in their cap. If they lose, then that's not going to be very good for them in terms of their overall size. But really, the onus is upon Punjab and Calcutta to win their games, because if Lucknow and Rajasthan win the matches appropriately, then you would have to say that that's going to solidify the top 3 for good. But on form, Lucknow should be the ones to beat quite distinctly. Lucknow should be the one that beats Kolkata Knight Riders. But yeah, that comes up later in the day. But this game first up, which is on 10 minutes' time, where, of course, Punjab have actually won the toss and have elected to bat, as we said, and that allows, of course, Rajasthan to sit back and see what happens and come home strongly there. But Josh Butler, form was very, very good. The last couple of games hasn't been scoring too big. Team's losing. Is that indicative of the form they're in? Well, we'll wait and see. So with Punjab batting first, and we do see their batting lineup, that's a pretty damn, and with Mayank Agarwal there, we are looking at a team that are in reasonable form, let's be honest.
So, I mean, Bairstow and Shikadawa, pretty good opening partnership with Agarwal. So those are your top three. Then Liam Livingston. So there's four of the top five batsmen who are in pretty good form. The rest, well, we've got a combination of bowlers there and keepers. So not a great deal, but there's a lot of emphasis on Shikadawa and Bairstow, and of course, Agarwal with Liam Livingston, and to a lesser extent, Bhanuka Rajapaksa. The name Rajapaksa is not the name that I would be banding around too much in political circles in Sri Lanka at the moment. So Punjab won the toss and ended up batting first. Interesting, because we were almost exclusively seeing teams win the toss and bowl. What have I done here? Where's something then? Well, I blew it. All right, so again, Punjab winning the toss. People have to understand winning the toss is a significant thing. It is a significant thing to do. And elect to bat first. Now, again, what's my pet hate, guys? What's my pet hate? Those on air should be able to tell me what my pet hate is. So Punjab win the toss and elect to bat first. We've got a double header here. I was going to see what the comments are. Himanshu Rahela's joined us. Your thoughts on Tim David innings yesterday, or can George Bailey back 2 days? Okay. There's no doubt, Himanshu Rahela, that Tim David and Daniel Sams both justified their selections, not only for Mumbai Indians, but also potentially for Australia in the future. I think you will see something happen there. Sujesh Prabhu says, whom are you supporting to win the trophy? The trophy overall? Good question. I mean, with Gujarat and Lucknow now firming as being a top contender, I would think they're in with the frame. But I'm leaning on Rajasthan Royals. If Rajasthan Royals get their act together as they have already, I reckon they're a sneaking chance to win this whole thing. So I'm looking at Rajasthan. There's a bit of sympathetic thoughts, of course, in line with Shane Warne's passing, being 15 years ago when actually they won the first ever IPL. Yeah. Martin was LSG will win this IPL. So Oliver Lutkins reckons Lucknow. Well, we're going to see them in action tonight, aren't we? And if they win tonight, they will be the leading team in the comp. Now, that's a very good thing in match 53 with only 17 matches post that to go. They're situated very nicely to be definitely in the top four at the very least. So, yeah, I understand it, Oliver. I think that's a good point. There's a couple of things I want to talk about, though, which don't relate to this game necessarily. What else we're hearing here? How many more losses before Sanju breaks the record for most tosses lost? CSK lost 12 and 12, 2012. Sanju was on the way with 10 losses in 11 matches. Yeah, well, he may want to win a few more than he has. A couple of statements I'm going to make now. There's some heard a lot about my very good friend Burya Majumdar. He has been banned around as not being a good journalist and what have you. Absolute and utter garbage. In fact, we have a term in Australia, and I think it's known worldwide, but it certainly is relevant to what we normally see in Australia, and that's the tall poppy syndrome. The tall poppy syndrome. I'm looking over here. Okay. The tall poppy syndrome is something which we call generally people, and I'll actually quote the term. It's a very interesting term to have quoted. Okay, tall poppy syndrome. A perceived tendency to discredit or disparage those who have achieved notable wealth for prominence in public life. So there we are. That sums up someone of the stature and class of Burya Majumdar, who was a great man of great stature, and I think it's a great. So the term tall poppy syndrome, and if you haven't heard it before, tall poppy, poppies are large, tall plants. We want to knock them down, don't we? So the tall poppy syndrome is a noun, an informal word usage in Australian English, or really in English, a perceived tendency to discredit and disparage those who have achieved notable wealth or prominence in public life.
And that sums up what I believe. Are you covering the Sri Lanka versus? Yeah, I certainly will be. You must, absolutely, with great gusto. Obama Babu, how are you? Bhuvi or Harsha Patel, who will be a more probable pick for this World Cup in Aussie? We know that Shami and Brunma would play. Umar Malik might be the one that's going to be the other person's go. I think Bhuvi should go personally. If it was in England, he certainly would. Harsha Patel's another thing. They may bring an extra few players. Why shouldn't they be able to do that? No reason why they can't do that. So, I haven't invited anyone on against this is a last minute decision, so we'll get someone to come on. Let's just see if we can find someone. Can you hear the disc on the background? Right? So tall poppy syndrome. I'm going to copy that and put that to I'm going to put that to our. Let's have a look here. Was it there? StreamYard. Here we go. I'm on StreamYard. That's the platform I'm using. So I'm live there. Okay, if I want to enter the studio, I shouldn't really enter the studio as such. I'm going to make comment though on the live broadcast. And I'll do that. There we go. I'm going to put this tall poppy syndrome thing. Can I put it here? Let's see if I can do that. So it's got too many words. There. PSL, Sindabad, Amir, Nawaz. When that comes up next year, I'm involved. All right. It's too early to say, but I don't think that Umar will play. Oh, I think there's a good chance he will. So there's my. Can we expect Jofra Archer in the next T20 World Cup? Well, he's playing in the 100, I believe, in England. So yes, why wouldn't we? But England desperately need him. And don't forget, Ben Stokes, who is now the so-called captain of England, he wants the best side on the field at all times. In fact, I heard today Brendan McCullum may well be the coach of England's white ball team. That'll be interesting. So yeah, Brendan McCullum is going to be, well, potentially. Hey, so McCullum it's not McCullum, it's McCullum. As England white ball coach. There's a question mark at the moment over there, the big question mark. But talking about Sam's 9 runs defending last year, well, I did just mention before about the play of both Tim David and his batting, and obviously the collection of bowling from Daniel Sam. He's a great player, local boy to me, lives up the road here, plays for Rowing Petersham. We'll talk to you at any time. As a very down-to-earth young fellow. He defended 9 runs last over, magnificent effort, proves his worth. Certainly is a great thing. Amir Nawaz is saying Pakistan and England and Australia too. So yeah, there's a lot of good things being told there. So new comment here. Obama Babu. Umran has pace, but like we saw here, is a double-edged sword. I think it will be tried and used when we're time. Vince Rowan Sharma will be using him as a trump card. I think so. I think we're not going to. We won't see the back of him just yet. He'll be there for some time. So undoubtedly. Let's just get some people. I want to talk some more about the Boria Majumdar situation too, because he's a brilliant man. He has a Rhodes Scholar. He's both PhD level qualifications. His eloquence, his brilliance in journalism, not just on the TV shows, on various Indian outlets, worldwide outlets. It's respected all over the world. He's a magnificent fantastic museum for sport and general, not just cricket, well qualified. In fact, tremendously well qualified to be a journalist of the highest order. Now, the issue with Rima Saha is neither here nor there. He's still one of the best India's ever produced in terms of media. His eloquence is beyond doubt. His knowledge is beyond doubt. His respect is beyond doubt, beyond reproach, is the term that I would use. And should these naysayers out there that make comments, boo-hoo, we don't give a stuff. We don't give a hoot. Who cares of your point of view, especially on Facebook, For God's sake, I wouldn't even ask for the idiotic comments on Facebook from these idiots. Pathetic. And look, I have some naysayers as well. There's a certain bus driver, come vacuum cleaner salesman, sitting there in Melbourne, Australia, who wouldn't know if his bum was on fire. Claims to be a photographer on his Facebook page, on some harebrained pages. He does wedding photography. Absolute imbecile, useless. No, I won't say the word I want to use, but I almost did. He badmouths me all the time. I don't care, but you know what? Idiots like that won't get away with it. They'll get their own back. There's another guy in Sydney. He's got another guy who's equally as dangerous. He's actually already been shipped back to India for immigration fraud. That's another issue. This other guy keeps getting photographed in a certain place, keeps claiming he knows people. This facade of being involved with the police and this company that doesn't exist. He has boardroom shots of himself standing there pretending to have a meeting when he has no entity at all. He's calling Australia, India, something or other community. He's absolutely a fraud. It's embarrassing. Bubba's number one, Zishan Al-Islam. I would agree that he's certainly in the top 1, 2, 3 for sure. He and Joe Root, Bubba Azam, and you'd have to include Khawaja as well. Hello, Suman Awashi. I was just having a go at something before, but don't mind me. If Finch fails in the strong so what is Australia going to do? Australia's changed their openers back in the T20 World Cup. Look, Ben McDermott probably will go back in the contention, but Aaron Finch won a World Cup. People are very reticent to let him go. Let's be honest. The game actually. Yeah, I'm getting people. All right, let's have a look here. We're going to invite a guest. I'm not sure who's available. So, Bubba's a humble guy nearing his prime, very underrated as well. He's very underrated. There's no doubt about it. But he's a very humble guy. You're right. And probably. I mean, yeah, there's no doubt that. There's no doubt that he's a humble guy. Is it going against him in some ways? Maybe it's going against him a little bit. It might be a situation, case in fact. So they've got the various pre-matches going on as we speak. Well, the matches actually started, hasn't it? Let's just. What was I going to put? A community comment? What was I going to put? No, I'm not making some silly mistakes here. I'm just trying to get people on. It's good to see Winifred Dursane, the captain of Malaysia, and the captain of Bangladesh, Rahman Ahmed, both doing very, very well at the moment. I'm pretty happy with them in the franchise competition going on in Dubai. Very good indeed. Chloe Amanda Bailey, I'm just talking to her as we speak. Pranesh, see if he's available. People, it's just an interesting turn of events here. Subramanian Rani's there. He's been making a lot of comments of late as well. My thoughts on why teams not send Daniel Samuels for his his ability to take the game away from any others. He's not in the BBL 2022. You're right. There's a great tosser than a captain or a better person. Well, maybe. Gaming and Puranjay, how are you? I'm glad to see you're here. We've got Baramarani may or may not join. I'm not sure to see whether he's in the mood. Winifred's too busy. I'm pretty sure. And Hollyoaks probably too busy. Siddharth's on India Today. Motion's sake, I've got someone liking me there. How about that? Not sure. My phone makes funny noises. Guys, it's terrible. Preview. Just spraying this out a bit.
Gurkharat Singhil, he's a great friend of mine. He's been very busy of late too. Alan Mullally, Chris Vernon. All right, I sprayed out enough people. All right, now let's have a look how the game's panning out as we speak. I'll just put that up in my little effort here. I mean, Punjab Kings really have a great opportunity here to really give a bit of courage for those. They're done for 16 at the moment. Bairstow with Shigadarwan. Bairstow's a great player. Well, that was Shigadarwan. Shigadarwan, amazing stats. He's another 4 there. He just loves playing IPL, doesn't he? He's still the second highest run getter. Baramarani, are you going to join me or are you going to sit there watching? BBL legends haven't lived up to expectations. I've noticed that. Yeah, that's true. Kyle Jamieson is going to be a big threat for England in Test Series coming up. He will. Certainly has been a bit quiet. He hasn't been in great form here, Anshu, but yeah, I'd argue it's possibly the case. So KKR Rahul is the most runs by Indian openers, is the one with 451. Then Shikanal one with 373. And then Abhishek Sharma's got 331. Gill 321. Ishan Kishan 270. Gaikwad 265. Shaw. Warner's not showing up there. Clean shaven today. Yes, I went to have a show. My mother's in the hospital again, by the way. It's just overnight, thankfully. Nothing too serious, but I've had a bit more time up my sleeve that I do, a bit more, taking care of myself. So Bairstow's 11 off 8 balls, and Shikadal's 5 off 4. Prasad Singh, I think there's one that's just in the middle of his over there. Let's head the one over. PBKS, Punjab Kings. What was wrong with PK? Anyway. It's looks like a pretty healthy crowd there. It's been the 52nd match of the IPL. We've still got another 18 after this, and that'll go pretty quickly. It'll be probably another week to 2 weeks. We'll see that finished. What's my view on the junior? Hello, everyone. Hello, this is Suradip Malik. How are you? How will Warner go tonight with his team? Well, Warner's team's not playing tonight. Robert M. 99, he played last night and played very well. He got 92, didn't he? Was it the night before? 92. Yeah, no, he's not playing tonight. We've got tonight's match is between Punjab, which has, of course, the likes of Agarwal, Shikhar Dhawan, and Liam Livingstone. Rajasthan has Josh Butler. Lucknow Super Giants have KKR Rahul, and KKR don't have Warner. They have KKR, in fact, have Pat Cummins, but he isn't getting hurt. They have, of course, KKR captained by Shreyas Iyer, which he's been a tad disappointing this series, to be honest. Darwin's giving Tim Bolt a bit of a curry. I thought if Tim David get Josh English get in this show, so it's difficult to beat Australia in T20 World Cup. Well, look, Josh English has had his chances and looks to be in the mix. Ben McDermott up and down, but also looks like he's in the mix. Tim David, if he's given an opportunity. But at the moment, Australia aren't really including him in the selection. They may be forced to. Trent Bolt. And Southey's floating around as well in the comp. There's a lot to be said about this match. Now that Punjab are batting first. So here we are, the orange cap leaderboard. Josh Butler is first. KKR Rahul second. So Rajasthan Royals like now. And then you've got Shikhar Dhawan always up there. He's ahead of Dave Warner, and Hardik Pandya is on number 5. So it's almost indicative of the teams that are up there, actually, that are playing where you've got Gujarat, Rajasthan, and Lucknow covered. Then you've got Delhi Capitals and Punjab in there as well. So that's pretty indicative of the way that the competition will head. Sunrisers are on the way out. Rajasthan Royals certainly are in. Punjab, if they don't win tonight, are on the way out, I have to say. And KKR are also on the way out. So really, it's only, Sunrisers, they're out. So I'm really, again, Gujarat, Lucknow, Rajasthan, there's your top 3. It's only a matter of a few things going their way. It will be Delhi Capitals there for the taking for 4th, or outside a Royal RCB, I should say. Can't see Punjab doing it for some reason. Liam Livingstone has to play out of his skin, and I don't think he's been doing that. So going back to people, there's so-called tall poppy syndrome, which I've put up on the screen there. Let me fucking follow it again. There we are. Tall poppy syndrome. It's a noun, an informal Australian term, a perceived tendency to discredit or disparage those who have achieved notable wealth or prominence in public life. And that's typical of useless goobers that think that they make comments on their social media when they haven't got a leg to stand on. Yes. So Johnny Bairstow and Josh Butler are against each other in this match. That'll motivate Bairstow, I would imagine, to outdo his counterpart Butler and series, because they're both keepers too. Both of them probably aren't the keepers. When is the 2023 World Cup happening? That's the 50 over World Cup. That's a good question. I don't know the exact dates. Actually, Oliver, can you look it up while we're talking? Because I don't know the dates offhand, but it's definitely 2023. I know that there's an America West Indies contingent there, and that I think was it 2024. I can't remember, but I'm going to be in England for the Ashes in 2023, which will be around July, August. I'm assuming that's next year, and then I'll hopefully make my way around to other tournaments that happen. May not get to the IPL. We'll say. Well, I've got some guys on my show. The 2 Greeks, 2 Italians, and German. The gig, as I call it. The 5th episode will be happening on Wednesday. Namely George Passaris, Giuseppe Terranova, Harry Tumbaris, and Michael Anastasia. So we're all going to try and go to the IPL next year, maybe the year after. We'll wait and see how we go. So guys, for doing some homework for me. I think England picked Tom Haynes and Alex Hales in the Test squad against New Zealand. Tom Haynes and Alex Hales. Well, Alex Hales is interesting because he's certainly got the ability. And if Ben Stokes will start putting people who've got the ability in there, they'll probably bring back James Anderson and Broad. Probably bring in someone like Alex Hales. We may see Ben Stokes be more prominent. We might see a whole host of English players. Tom Haynes, I don't know a little about him, Oliver, so you have to inform me about him. Surudeep Malik, Aaron Finch and Kane Wilson's form, Matthew Waitman and Kyle Jameson's form, and fitness say something about this. Yeah, I mean, Aaron Finch, well, he won the World Cup last year. We can't just deny that. Kane Wilson, where I was injured for some time, didn't play any cricket for New Zealand. All of a sudden, back for the IPL, with back for the England-New Zealand Test Series. Then you've got Kyle Jamieson. I think it's been an issue of form too. He's been up and down a little bit, but he's very capable. Matthew Wade, in terms of the international level, I think he's finished. His career's finished there. And this particular match, these matches, he seems to be out of favour a little bit. Although he plays for the Gujarat Titans, doesn't he? He'll be still got a Guernsey somewhere. I want you to tell me about this Tom Haynes, Oliver. I don't know a lot about him. It looks to me like this is Kuldeep Sen, who when I say the name Kuldeep, I think it's spinner, as in Kuldeep Yadav, but Kuldeep Sen is far from being a spinner. Sanju Samson looks a little bit well. Oh, he's still got a Punjab, not in a great position. Not flying. It's good steady delivery. Little Winifred Durasame has taken 5 weeks in the first 2 matches. This beautiful little ball that cut and seamed and took it. He was able to stump the batsman. So Punjab are steady as they go. None for 19, none for 20 now off 3.3 overs. You can see how close Wankhede Stadium is to the water. Only an apartment block separates water and the actual stadium. Shigadar, Livingston, Bavada, Chahal, Samson, Banuka, Rajapaksa, David Pelical, yes, Mayank Agarwal, Ashwin, Hetman, so-called Dream 11 they're putting forward. Very clear weather day there at Wankhede Stadium. Further up the road is Cricket Club of India, CCI, Brabourne as they call it. Brabourne, I call it Brabourne. Then they got the third venue further up, the Patil. Then they got the Pune Stadium, which is where we're going to be playing the second match at. Very steady bowling here, and Johnny Vestal's not getting the ball away unless the pitch is a bit worn, which wouldn't surprise me. Oh, that ball did get away. In fact, the ball went to the boundary, but that's 4,000 runs for Johnny Bairstow and T20s, an IPL at T20s. He's just pulled the ball beautifully away there after his cut shot. Well played. Okay. Yes, we accept that Finch won the World Cup last year, but Finch won the toss and bowling first favour. Anytime he won the toss, it's not that Finch is great. His form is a worry. Well, it maybe will. He will be in Australia as well. Suradeep Malik, Ben Stokes, Chris Wokes, Alex Howes, Jason Roy, Geoff Raj, and Mark Wood related news, especially Mark Wood related. Well, look, Ben Stokes will want to bring Geoffrey Archer straight back to the side. Alex Howes, Jason Roy, they're some of his favourite players. Chris Wokes to a lesser extent, and certainly Mark Wood. That certainly strengthens the England bowling and batting lineup quite considerably, especially in the shorter format. And if you've got Brendan McCullum there as a potential coach of that white ball team for England, I guess the test team may end up being in Collingwood's hands, so we don't know that. It's going to be a bit much stronger team when it comes to the short form, both T20 and 50 over. So Punjab 28 without a loss after 4 overs. That's exactly 7 runs an over, which is, you would argue, not enough. So they've got a bit of a skedaddle to do, even though they haven't lost a wicket. Wankhede Stadium, Mumbai, on the shores of the English harbour, the Mumbai harbour, I'll call it, gateway to India. Quite impressive. No more questions, guys? After 38 minutes, I've gone live now. The second game, of course, once we clean up, we've got Tim, what's his name? Bolt. Coming back on the bowl. Trent Bolt, not Tim. Trent Bolt. It's coming back on the bowl now. Hasn't been notable this series so far. None for 28 off. Darwin looks a bit clunky with his shot selection, but we know he can suddenly start to click and play very well. He's still, the second best, second highest run scorer in IPL. Big accolade. Who will win? Okay. Who will win the Australia versus South Sri Lankan ODIs and T20s? Well, I'm more interested in the 2 test matches that are happening in Gaul, which will be interesting. But the ODIs and T20s, even though it's been played in Sri Lanka, Australia murdered them smashed them, that is, in Australia. You would know that was an inside edge, and it's gone for 4. Bairstow's having a bit of luck. Off Trent Bolt. Oh, no, I can't see Australia losing those, to be honest. Even though it's been played in Sri Lanka, they're probably Premadasa Stadium, which is fairly, innocuous track. Not really spin friendly at all, so you would imagine that Australia will win. And now that they've come out of the Pakistan series, they played well there, even though Pakistan did play well against them as well. They should put them in good stead. They've got Maxwell and a few blokes who'll come out in great form. Tim Davis not there, as we've been talking. Always been McDermott. But yeah, there we go. Sumant Shastri, Ben Stokes, High Norman. What do you want to know about Ben Stokes? Ben Stokes, 6'6", 6'4", 6'6", 6'6", 6'4". But that was is that his phone number? What is it? There was Ben Stokes. That was one of the, remember the game where he beat us, the Edgeworth in a test match for the great century. If Josh Philippe will do well in Australia A match, can Australia pick in the white ball team? I guess they could. They kind of talked about an extended squad, even albeit one's a side. Can't see what up. Shoot it down. Just point that on its way down the final leg. Starting to move on now a little bit. Chuck Shigan was 11 off 14, which is very slow for him. It was a scrappy shot. It wasn't an eloquent shot. It's helped it on its way, and it made its way to the boundary. So Shigan Darwin's still floating around there. The highest level of cricket. Oh, that was a full toss leg side. That's not quite. He could have niggled that around for an easy four, but he didn't quite get a hold of it. Suradeep Malik. Brandon McCullum was coach of England team, explosive team now. McCullum makes the nuclear reactor type team, for sure. Yes, but at the moment he hasn't been given that yet. Their batting lineup. If they have Jason Roy and Alex Hales and Liam Livingston's got to be there now too, you've got a pretty explosive bunch of players. Bairstow, Butler. That's a pretty good side. Very close to the water here. In comes Trent Bolt again. That was extremely wide. That has to be called a wide. I've got my little gay time bites here. Though. It's possible should not gay time bite. Can England team pick young fast bowlers against Brazil? I guess they can. Will they do it? We don't know. We don't know. When you say young fast bowlers, Sakib Mohammed is one. Suction melt. Oh, it's something melt. Well, there's that clobbered that. He's going to give Butler a run for his money tonight. This is 6. So the run rate's leapt to over 9 and over. Fast approaching 10 after being around 7. Big change. Very good. Golden gay time bites. It's been nice for him. I'm in a mood, guys. I'm not pregnant. What am I eating? I just showed you. Golden gate time bites, 16 pieces. Ice cream with coconut and stuff on the top. Ravi Chandran Ashwin has played 178 IPL matches. 178. Oh, in so-called 15 years. I'm not sure he's been around for the entire 15 years. A good 10 to 12 he certainly has, right? Ravi Chandran Ashwin replaces Kuldeep Sen. Looks like a wide. It is. Ashwin just doesn't seem to really be on his game at the moment in the short form at all. Oh, that is a magnificent catch. Did he catch it? Looks like he did. This is Josh Butler's very casually just taken a catch off the bowling of Ashwin. It went floating over his head. It didn't look like a good shot at all. And Shigan Darwin floated it, but then Butler, with the greatest of these, took it. Well, he is an ex-keeper. He is a keeper. Magnificent catch. Not too excited about it though for some reason. There it is. Darwin's gone on the wicket and he's half hit it. Not really hit it hard at all. It's only half hit it. And he thought he got over his head. It was a magnificent one-hand catch from Butler. And he gets up as if nothing, like he did nothing. So very unusual innings from Shigan Darwin. 12 off 16. He normally doesn't go under or run a ball, that's for sure. So Butler's very happy. That's a good sign for his own batting performance. He can catch the ball out. He's going to be a pretty good move when he goes to the bat later on. One for 47 after 5.1 overs. Best day not out still on 31 off 15. Banuka Rajapaksa's gone in number 3, which I don't know whether that's good or bad. I would have put Agarwal should have been getting it a 3 like he's planned. I don't see any great gunners. This is Banuka Rajapaksa's got a bit of a license to kill here and to go for it. It's a bit chubby. The group downstairs having a party when it was supposed to be from 1 to 6 p.m. They said, well, it's now 8:27 p.m. and they're still partying. So that's obviously broken that time frame. So Banuka Rajapaksa, not an impressive name. Rajapaksa's on the nose for most people's thinking. Ashwin will be very cocky, having got the wicket. A lot of kings, isn't it? There's the Chennai Super Kings, there's the Punjab Kings, there's the Lucknow Super Giants, not Super Kings, but Lucknow Super Giants. Giants and Kings pervade. Yeah, Stone hit that not hard at all. And he didn't realise he was hitting it straight in to a man who can catch anything, it seems like Butler. And he's not happy. Ashwin's getting excited. Ashwin, you can't thank your bowling for that. It was an ordinary shot and a great catch. Well, Ashwin's test rate is phenomenal. Marnus takes a wicket as the fast bowler in county. His bowling is outstanding. I'm not rating Marnus Labuschagne's bowling at all. Overrated quite considerably. Let's not get too going. Let him stick to his batting. Yeah, I don't know what Chickadam was doing. He actually hit it quite well in the end, and it was just a magnificent catch from Butler that led to that wicket. How was that LBW when it was way on the leg side? This spun sharply back. It certainly hasn't. Having a little chat about this. Are they going upstairs or not? They seem to have gone upstairs for this. And they called it. They've called it. Sampson's called it. Keeping as he is. Okay, not Sampson. It is Sampson. Sorry. Agarwal should be batting 3 for Punjab, but Sampson's there for his beloved Rajasthan Royals, and he's gone upstairs. I don't think it's out. I mean, Ashwin seems to be quite adamant that it's out. The JRS, here we are. Let's see, the ball it's his carom ball, so it's perhaps not spinning away as much. Did it spin back enough? No. In fact, it's probably pitched outside leg stump. No, it can't be out. Couldn't imagine it coming back enough. Seeing it's been called not out by the umpire, it'll have to be something pretty dramatic to get back. And first of all, it's pitched outside leg and it's not come back there, showing a Kara. Original decision was not out. Certainly isn't any bat than I would not have thought. No one near the bat. But hit the ball, hit the pad well outside the leg stump to start with. And it hasn't spun sharply back or anything. It's just pitching in line, but its impact is well outside and will career further away. Yeah, it's not out. Silly to review. So history says young or junior bowler doesn't matter. If he is, she is good player, junior bowlers give them a good track rate if he just looks like that. Yeah, perhaps. Shows better performance than a senior player. Time for mistake. Perhaps. Here comes Chahal, he's replacing Trent Bolt. Significant bloke, come on now. Very hard to get away. Yuzvendra Chahal's played 125 IPLs, taken 158 wickets. Oh, but Rajapaksa has taken a hold of him and put him out of the ground. So 154 to 6.2. I wonder if it's 200 enough. You would think it is, but that's a long way to go before they get to that. Now there's a ball there, floated up and hit nicely out of the ground. Cameron Green's performance on March 1, they cap at 4. He is outstanding the bat. Biggest reason for Australia's loss against Pakistan in the early side. Cameron Green can bat up the order, yes, but he's more suited to 5 or 6. If he gives away his bowling towards the end of his career and takes some batting, he might go off the order, but I think he's suited to that position where he's now suited at 5 or 6. They've lost the ball, it looks like. The so-called punch super striker of the series. Kartik's at 189, Livingston 187, Russell 176, Powell 171, and then Rajapaksa is 169. So he's in the top 5. It's pretty impressive. Good if you can do more for Sri Lanka. He's well liked by his IPL teams. Other day, waist high, full toss bowl, umpire not give the no ball. But I think that is a no ball. TCS. Nicholas Prime striker at that time. Because umpire said it was a no ball. Yeah, that's a bit of an arbitrary decision-making process, the old no ball, but it's just a means to an end to stop ways of loose bowling, I guess, in a short format. But I'll just, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm a big fan of yours. Thank you very much. Music in the back. Can you hear them? Can you tell me, guys, can you hear music in the background while I'm talking? Because there's a nightclub going on downstairs at another place. My mother, of course, is out in hospital. She had trouble with her bowel movements, but she's better now. What's this here? So best has Solari on 32 now. Rajapaksa's on 8. 56 the loss of 1 wicket. Into this, just about to finish up with the 7th over, going into the 8th. Basically, their strike rate is, or their run rate is 8. Yeah, so the Finks finished 7 overs, and they got 56, so that makes it 8 runs and over. So looking at a total of possibly 160. Well, 168, that is in fact. No, it was 7 overs, 8 per over. So my Rabbitohs lost big time yesterday against the Broncos. A terrible South Sydney Rabbitohs, as you probably know. I support the South Sydney Rabbitohs. A commercial break now. Let's see what else is going on in the wide world of. What do we got here? Brahms Trevi's travelling by car. He'll be watching it on his mobile. All right, let's have a look at. Just what am I after now? I'm trying to find something. I want to find some statistics So here we go, it's 6 here. And a small break that they've got happening now. Not good. A live double header. We're going pretty long today, guys. What do you reckon? Add to the playlists here. I feel music going. Well, why is Riley Meredith not playing tests for Morrison play with? Riley Meredith's not anywhere near test quality yet, to be honest with you. He's barely good enough for the short format. And overrated for his young age. Joris is a much better player by far. Much better player. Much better player. Okay, this year, the T20 International World Cup in Australia, Australia will win that again, or any other team have a chance. Well, logically, you would think Australia's got the best chance to win that. Okay, logically. That's what you logically would think. But, is it that conclusive? I don't know. I don't think it is. Anyone can win it. I'm afraid anyone can win. Australia's probably in the box seat, but India could get up. Pakistan could get up. West Indies could get up on the day. New Zealand could get up. England, well, they got a bit of soul searching to do before they get to that point, but yeah, they could do too. Australia has to be the favourite. It would be fair cop to say Australia is the favourite. So Punjab here, 156. Ashman's come on again. We've got a Bearso doing a reverse sweep there, and it's actually worked. He's got the ball through, and he's on 36 now off some 21 deliveries. Scores 1 for 60 out of 7.2. They're going along quite handsomely. Never forget when Bairstow played the test match in India after a bit of a break. He came in there and the face Aksa Patel had no idea. Was out very quickly. One or two deliveries he faced, he was out. And they were a mess. It looked horrible. I think he's picked his game up again, and he's a much better player. Now, this is a shorter format. He was out of the test side for a while. I think he's in there now, quite solidly. Up stocks, Dream 11 and RuPay are some of the sponsors. RuPay is one of those afterpay type things which we've got in Australia. Rishabh Pant. What do you think? Ujwal Singh, what do you say, Rishabh Pant? Yeah, we've got to be quiet on him, haven't we? He's still the number one player as keeper for India. He's not going anywhere in that regard. Pity Chickadale won't go. I'd like him. Pretty sure he's played in all 15 IPLs. If he made 1 million from each one, there's 15 million right there. Tell me the conversion of 1 crore to Australian dollars. Australian dollar. That's the challenge. I want to find it. What was the full toss beneath the mushroom? Someone Google, who's online now, somebody Google 1 crore in Australian dollars. What does it equal? So it does need some changes to solve. They are betting favourites need to drop Finch, Smith and Cummins. Well, Smith is certainly not. I think he's not playing. Finch is still in there. Cummins, well, he picks himself running. That's a great shot of the coastline. I love that shot. I wish I could get a hold of it. I'll be too low. I'll be too low. I really like that. What a great photo that is. That one Beautiful. So there's a magnificent coastline. So we've got, I don't know. Good. Well, there they get a person playing. It's Australia. What's going on there? Must have taken another camera. People message me. Well, I message myself. All right, 1 crore equals what in Australian dollars? Do tell me. When and watch the banter show. The banter show's on every Wednesday, 8 o'clock Australian time in Sydney, that is. And I think that makes 4.5 hours before. So at 3:30 p.m. Wednesday, your time, if it's in your time. Roger Parks is hitting the ball very sweetly. Quite shocked. Banuka Rajapaksa, he hasn't done enough for his own country. So someone's going to tell me what 1 crore is equal to Australian dollars, please. Did that very well. To be live with Steve Smith, Cummins and Green. I can't be with any of them because they're all overseas. Green, no, he's not actually, but Cummins is certainly overseas at some stage. He's playing for KKR. Steve Smith's, he's not out the road. He's down the beach. We'll see whether he can get him. He's normally down there. Well, Warner's not there because he's playing IPL. But I'd say Smith's taking a well-earned break at the moment. So PBKS, Punjab Kings are now 1 for 70 after 8 points today. This Bears they were 38. And Roger Buck's coming in and was scoring 16 off 11, so he's starting to get his act together. Suradeep Malik is saying that Rishabh Pant, everyone knows him because for 2020, recent days, since the ODI and Test debut, especially Test debut, he's become a Test player series by series. Check his runs, catches some seriously. Yes, he isn't in the same form, but for God's sake, when he has been in form, he's been brilliant. Catch the season, they're showing catch the season. So there's quite a few of them. But Butters is going to be up there, I'd say, too. Some pretty good catches amongst them. Liam Lewis, what a player he's turned out to be. Magnificent player. So Kuldeep Singh is coming in. And with the greatest of ease, Roger Parks has just guided him down the backward forward point. Now 8:45, this party downstairs is supposed to be finished at 6. 3 hours ago, it hasn't finished. Your favourite format in cricket, Test cricket? Not even a question. Test cricket, Test cricket, Test cricket. I'm a Test cricket tragic. I love my Test cricket. Ishan Kishan, better than Rishabh Pant, I think, but this is my thinking. So sorry for Rishabh Pant. Well, Ishan Kishan has a pretty damn poor IPL. I'll tell you, he can't leave his mouth shut at the moment. So Rajasthan Royals, if they win, will certainly cement their top 3 position. Well, Best tried to pull off middle stump there and was nowhere near it. It's the most barnyard of shots I've ever seen. Kuldeep Singh certainly bowling accurately. How did that miss the off stump? Complete barnyard shot, not on. Almost yorked him, and he's just tried to lift it. I don't know what Bairstow was doing there. Oh, very ugly.
And again, look, Agarwal should have backed himself to be in the 3. Ball's wide. Depends how Punjab go towards the end, but they're in a bit. Okay, someone's going to ask this. 1 crore to someone. What do you want me to do it while we're talking? There's no problem. Okay, so what are we looking at here? We're looking at can Sam Curran play tests against New Zealand? Why can't he? Seems a bit on the outer, but there's no reason why he should. Is he being selected? It's going to depend on the Ben Stokes influence. Does Ben Stokes want to play like that in his team? I think he would. I need to find out 1 crore in Australian dollars or so. There you go. That equals 10 million Indian rupees, 1 crore, which is 183,863 Australian dollars. So 1 crore is in fact 10 million Indian rupees. So that makes it, as I said, 183,863. So if you get 15 crores, let's see what 15 crores, that's what Ishan Kishan's got. So he got 2.757946. So let's say that 2.758 million Australian dollars to play in the IPL. So 2.75 million to play in the IPL for the season for a couple of months. Fab 4 other 2 rooms. No, Smith is not the Fab 4 anymore. I'm sorry, no way. Root, Baba Azam, Usman Khawaja, and Kane Williamson. I'd say. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Manuka Rajapaksa is proving pretty good. Seven Oaks Vine are playing Kent Cricket League, Premier's first 11. There we are. Seven Oaks Vine has got Chris Vernon. That's all. Well, normally has. Normally has. So Manuka Rajapaksa is proving me wrong. He's doing a lot better than I would have given him credit for. So Punjab Kings are 1 for 84 after 9.2 overs. The formal balls, so you see what the batting run rate is like. Well, at the moment it's 8.4, more than 8.4. We'll soon find out. With some, he's got 2 fours in the last 3 balls. $142 Ks, 185 of 9.3. So with 3 balls left, they got 3 fours. That'd be 97. There we are, the crowd that are in the Tata Noi box. So let's see what the story is there. We've got 1 for 85 of 9.3. So it's certainly encroaching on 9 and over. And Bairstow to the ball straight for the deep square leg.
Yes. They got Kumble there, sitting there with his Punjab team. Not lauded over being the best coach ever. Bit of a mentor, sure, but Johnny Rhodes there as well. I think he's got Johnny Rhodes with him. One for 87 now. So the run rate's 8.7. They keep going this way, they'll be 170 odd. So Liam Livingston sitting there relaxing with 10 overs to go. I would be thinking about getting him out there pretty quickly if May Agarwal still to come as well. Josh and Livingston are such a disruptive pair, and T's one they certainly will be if they bat up the order. I would agree with that. Bairstow's not doing bad now. He's 43, 26. Roger Parks is 27 or 17. He's done well. There we are. They're 8.8. So this the 10 overs gone. It is. Punjab 1 for 88 after 10. So the batting average is 8.8. 176 is a total. It's, if they continue at this rate, without necessarily escalating, but that's still a rate to continue. 8.8 and over is a fair rate to go in the last 10. They will in fact be 176, which is a fair score. Bairstow 44. Chigadale got 12, and Rajapunks is already 27. With Agarwal and Livingston to go with 10 wickets to spare. They got a combination of all-rounder / bowler and keeper there to go. I can't see them losing anymore. They got Livingston and Agarwal to come, two blokes that can easily bat 10 overs. So Chahal's coming to bowl again. It's his second over now. Bairstow's just got it on the foot, round a short short finally. Johnny Rhodes, one of the best filling coaches in the world. There's no doubt about that. You can't match him. It can't be as good as him, that's for sure. He's a bit of a freak in his day. So we've got one eye on this match, which is the Punjab Kings versus the Rajasthan Royals. But Punjab now 1 for 89 into their 11th over. And match 53, Lucknow Super Giants versus Kolkata Knight Riders. That have been very hot and cold. So you can look at Rajapunks. Looks like he's out. Is he bowled? Looks like he is. Chahal strikes. Let's see what happened there. I think that was a bowled. Yep, the leg stump's gone. Went right through him. Balakil Rajapunks got 27 to 18, so he contributed, certainly. But now, with under 10 overs left, you've got who's in now? I'm assuming we're going to see. Yeah, we're going to see Agarwal coming now, with Livingston to follow. Yeah. Oh, let's have a look here. Music blaring away at the moment. So we've got the elections happening here in Australia with the so-called pre-polling. So can Benjamin Stokes make England a great team? Well, I guess his name is Benjamin, but he doesn't go by Ben Stokes. Well, he could if he brings back Alex Hales and Jason Roy and say Jofra Archer and keeps Ben Stokes and keeps Braun Anderson around and gives Sam Curran a go. A few positives to be taken out of all that, certainly. Agarwal has played 110 IPL matches with 2,292 runs. The strike rate at 135. So that's impressive numbers. It's pretty impressive numbers. Rahal seems like a very deceptive bowler. After the ball got the wicket, it was flicked out of the front of his hand. Maybe came on a bit faster than expected. Skid through, didn't spin. Deceptive delivery, and it worked. So 2 for 92. So Chahal's taken the most wickets. The purple cap leaderboard has got Chahal as number 1, Kuldeep Yadav as 2 with 10, Rabada 10, and Nutter is a 9, and then Hazaranka is 5th. He's taken. Oh no, okay. Soak's got away with it again. Best, I should say. I don't think Roy is in the test. He played in the Ashes, I think. He's totally struggling against Newborg. Swing of Southern Hayward. He might be in the short format. That's what I'm suggesting. I don't mean to say it'll be in the long format. It's a bit remiss to me to say that. So Bairstow was 47 not out. Darwin got out for 12. Caught Butler bowled Ashwin. Roger Parks was bowled Chahal for 27. And then we have Agarwal on 1 of 2 balls. Livingston still to come. Jitesh, Darwin, Rabada, Chahar, Ashdeep, and Sundeep. So, I mean, Rabada can have a hit. He's still useful. So 2 for 92. Ashwin's coming in. He's got 1 for 10 off 2. Quite economical under the circumstances. Bairstow's still flat. Bairstow's what's 47 now. A good drive there. Beautifully timed from Agarwal. With the greatest of these. Why did they send Livingston? Question, but Agarwal's had a beautiful forward, isn't it? So it's not necessarily wrong. Sumant, Shastri, prediction time, New Zealand versus England Test series. A bit early, Sumant, but this has been played in England. Oh, England have got a lot of sorting out to do with coaches, and they've got the captain sorted out. You think England will still win the series because it's at home, but New Zealand should do well. No excuse for New Zealand. Agarwal started the motor. He scores 2 for 102. Agarwal hit another ball. Nice late cut there. Beautifully played. Not beautifully played. Agarwal's a good player. Very good player as Agarwal. Ashwin should know that. You hate the IPL. Well, the IPL certainly is long. It's the 52nd, third matches now. We've got another week or 2 to go before we get to the finals. It is a long, almost 2 months of play, and it does. Yeah, okay. So Himanshu reckons my prediction is it's 2-1 England. I think you're probably close to the mark there. You're close to the mark there.
IPL is probably not, I wouldn't call it boring, it's just long. 70 matches is a huge number. Then you're not taking into account the semi-finals as well. So they're celebrating something. There was a forward, missed that. Just crowd. Well, Bairstow's 49 not out off 32, commendable. Argyle's 11 off 6, he's not mucked around. So Livingston, the big hitter to go. 2 for 105 off 12. Pretty well poised at the moment. Let's see how this. Giles got one for 12. Usher's got one for 22. Stan's got one for 23. Looks like South African Test team is doing really well on that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they are. They're doing well. For a limited talent and a little bit limited experience, they're doing pretty well. They've lost keeper, Quentin de Kock, which is amazing. I don't think they're that good. I think their bubble's going to burst before too long. They haven't got that much going for them, really. Debushes Mahanti's joined us. I think Australia must try Tim David in T20 cricket. I don't think Australia's that keen on him for some reason. They're not keen on him at all. He's not getting selected. Has not been selected in anything other than the BBL. And he doesn't even. Does he reside here? Is he still living in Hong Kong, wherever he is, Singapore, wherever he is? He's still not really convinced Australians quite yet. He's in the frame, I guess, but he hasn't been included in a huge number of teams going to Sri Lanka. The Australia A team is not included, the Test team, the ODI, T20 teams, he's not included in any of those 14. Marco Jensen is a tall bowler, uses his advantage, can swing towards batsman angling, and he certainly is. He's very Bruce Reid-like. We had him on our Australian side at one stage. Let's see here. Good short ball there. Johnny Bairstow trying to get his 50. He's on 49, I think. He pulled out, in fact, Bairstow. I think if he clobbered it, he wouldn't have needed to. But is Tim David Australian? That is a great question. Was he born in Singapore or Hong Kong and then moved to Australia? And then I guess he's an Australian citizen, I'm assuming. Yeah. Play for both countries, by the sound of it. No, Australia's T20 now looks best in the world. A lot of players performing Australian hot favourites to win the T20 World Cup. Well, I think they're best. They got his 50. I don't know. I don't think they're well, okay. If they are favourites to win the T20 World Cup, they won it last year, so they have every right to be deemed to be favourite, and they should do very well. They should be up there, but we can't say that we've been conclusive. It's too early. A lot of ways. There's a lot to be. So Bairstow 59 out of 34 deliveries. He's going to try and job his mate Josh Butler, I'm sure. Who's the better batter? Do you think England can retain the ODI World Cup in 23? It's going to be hard for them, but you never know. It's not at home, is it? Where is the 2023 World Cup being held? Bairstow 50 off 30 balls, 34 balls, 7 fours and 1 6. Bairstow with his bat, this is ton. So what do you guys think? Do you think England can retain the ODI series next year, 2023? I would say no.
would say no. Besto not at 50. Well, 13. 2 for 109 off virtually 13 overs. They got a launching pad now with 7 overs left to really put some runs on. They've got these two that can really go for it, and then they've got obviously Livingston still to go. Shahal, so some fun with Bezos, wasn't sure at the one stage there. I think the question my honey's just trying again. Norman, who are you not? Why are you not supporting Australia every series? You think Australia going to lose? You think weak England team best? No, I'm not saying that Australia going to lose. They are one of the favourites to win the World Cup next year. Yes, and England aren't necessarily the favourites. So you predict a weak England team beat best Australia 3-2 at post it's 3-2 in Australia when in fact England lost badly. Yes, England were underperformed. Something horrid. Let's be honest. They performed horridly badly. Just should have played a lot better than that, but they didn't. And when they put a bit of a fight up, they did okay. Trent Bolt's coming on to bowl the Bears, who's on 50. Well, he's not getting much. Besson's not connecting with too many shots there at the moment, even though he is 50. Yeah, he's playing some good shots though, isn't he? What's he now showcasing? Okay. Certainly a clapping best. It's a nice lofted balls over cover. Bolts comes in and a slow short ball and was swatted away by Bairstow, I guess the best way to describe it. So against pace, he's got a straight at 175. Against the slow ball, he's got 90 off. So obviously, Bairstow likes the ball coming on to the bat. Is it 99%? 35% of his shots through the leg side, none through the mid-on area, 11 with 9 on the offside there, and 22 behind point, and 23 on behind square. He's driven, that was Owl who drove very nicely. There's a man down there. ODI World Cup is in India, correct? 23. But then as in 2024, it might be the next T20 time. I think that's America and West Indies are showing it. Samantha Shastri, England not going to win the 2023 World Cup because they don't have any quality spinners. Moeen Ali, Adil Rashid, both 82, they both passed their peaks. England batsmen struggling to spin. Fair point. It's in India. Livingston's running up the stairs. I'm not sure what he's doing there. He's got the pads on. But Debab, to me, is a great player. I think let's take it. Well, the team's not really been talked about by Australians that much, to be honest. A little bit now, but not as much. And Bishop Kevin Peterson and Graham Swan are the commentators. So Bairstow 56, Darwin 12 was out. Roger Parks is 27 now. Agarwal's got 15 in a rather fast hurry. Their run rate is 8.36.
which sees them go, under 170 actually. Let me pick that a little bit. So 6 overs left. They got 10 and over, they'll go. If they get 10 and over the last 60 overs, it'll be 177, which is 109. Chahal has bowled well. Oops, there was a stopping opportunity there by Sampson. It was called wide. I don't necessarily agree with them wide calls sometimes. They're a bit. Wide double header there. They didn't run there, that would have been suicidal. While trying a single there when it wasn't on. He's on 15, Bears on 56, 2 for 118 off 14.1. So the Bastard's saying at Australia is hot favourites to win. Look at Australia's bowling attack. Cummins, Stark, Hazelwood, Samper, and they got 2 world class. Whereas Marshall's joined us there, also Green and Sams. Yeah, they have got the team on paper, yes. Samson, has he got another? He's caught. Not enough on that. No, he wasn't on. Charles taking another wicket. 3 for 118. 14.2 overs. But Livingston now poised to spend 5 or 6 overs going for it. Just didn't have enough on it. It's a little bit the long middle there, long on. Took it easily. 15 off 13 balls, not overwhelmingly fantastic. Who is Tanveer Singh and Todd Murphy? Or Tanveer Singh, a spin bowler from Sydney. I don't know that much. Todd Murphy, I think he opens the batting for WASA. I'm not sure. One of those 2 teams. Haven't seen a lot of him. But he's been rated highly, so someone's been watching him and selecting him. Livingston's taking his sweet time going out the bat, I'll tell you now. Because he didn't go in. Jitesh went in front of Livingston. I don't get that. Livingston's been incredibly good form. He's a big hitter. There's only 5 or 6 overs to go. He's perfect. He should have been in there now for sure. Let me get that one. I'll try and win it without him. Maybe. That's mostly. Thing looking good. Washington though should replace Steve Smith from T20. I think this must give him a chance to turn David before World Cup and done also. It may not happen though. I haven't seen his leg spinner. He's played for his fights. Yeah, not much cricket from Tanveer Singh. Sam, I'll just give it to his namesake, Jason Singer first. That's who I would put him first. I had some ice cream, that's why, didn't I? I'm still here, guys. Okay. Is this another wicket? It's under review. Original decision is out. Chahal yet again could get his 3rd wicket here. Chris Gaffney is the TV umpire. Oh, gee. It does look out. Well, the umpire's given him out. It won't be overturned, I don't think. Let's have a look here. Oh, I was already back in his seat because Mr. Chet, is it Bairstow or was it just Fish? Yeah. There's no bat. Oh, I hate these elongated decision making. Hitting. Yep, sufficiently hitting. Oh, I think it was a fair dismissal. That's the timeout. 14.4. Still 5.2 overs to go. 119 for 4. This should bring Livingston out, which should have been brought out at the time before. So that Bairstow was out 56 off 40. LBW bowled Chahal. It's the third wicket at least for Chahal. There's 2-minute 30-second break. Very annoying. Live double header. As I said to you before, at this stage of the game, Rajasthan are held up okay, but Punjab's got a fair amount. They've got a few wickets now with Chahal, which should see the score drop off a little bit. Then you have. So at this stage, I'm still predicting that Rajasthan Royals will get up. If Butler gets his act together in his innings, he'll take charge. So I'm still expecting Rajasthan to beat Punjab. Then you have the Lucknow Super Giants against a rather lackluster KKR. So that match could go either way, but Lucknow probably will win that one. What are your top two teams for World Test Championship final? Australia and probably India. Definitely Australia this time around. Pakistan are floating around there too, so South Africa, but I think India. Australia versus India. Where will it be played? Well, it should be played in New Zealand because New Zealand won the last. It should go to their home country, even though Australia and India are involved. Certainly shouldn't go to India. Shouldn't go to Australia either. Maybe Dubai. I would like to see it happen in New Zealand because they won the last WTC and they deserve to hold the trophy, even though they're not necessarily going to be playing themselves. Wouldn't you agree, guys? Do you agree or not? That's what I would think. Seems only fitting. I don't see what the problem is with it. Music's getting a bit loud downstairs. I'm not happy with that. Can you hear it? Can you hear it, guys? Can you tell me whether you can hear that sound? It's down 9:20 on the safe. Dream 11 game changers. Well, Butler's game changers. That's Chahal, Rahul, Kuldeep, Yadav, and Russell. Yeah. 2 Rajasthan Royals people have given the game brokers. Both in the team here today. He's got a wide. That was a bit pushy. Chahal's got 3 for 14 off 2.5 overs. India not used home conditions really well. That lost in the 16 World Cup. Same with Australia. Australia usually does better than that. Norman why is Australia good in sports? They perform well in we're a sporting nation. We're an outdoor nation. We're on the beach all the time, right? On the track. We play tennis, we play cricket, golf, rugby. We all play sport. In some schools, it's mandatory for every single student to play sport. And for example, I think it's a school, and I've got the name of it now. What's it called? Oh, it's a school which is renowned for every single person has to play rugby. It could be 14, 15 teams in certain age groups because they're all going to play rugby. Hunters Hill, renowned rugby school because everyone has to play rugby. I'm not sure it's still the case now, but it was certainly the case then. But we're very outdoor, a warm country, not overly hot like India, which is less encouraging. Liam Livingston's faced 2 balls now. I got the one run. We'll see whether he and with his with Jatesh, F4-122. This is ready made for Livingston to go crazy next 5 overs. Score 50 off the 5 overs. Get 170 on, which is around the score they probably should be at. Wait and see whether they actually do get to that point. Liam Livingston played really well in the BBL within Australia. Looked good there, and we all wonder whether he'll get a Guernsey. He has. Maybe Tim Davis is the one for Australia to match that. We'll wait and see. Daniel Sams is going to be floating around there now soon. Hi, brother. I'm Asad Mirza from Pakistan. How are you? MI96. We've had you before. Liam Livingston. Here we go. Facing Ravichandra Ashwin's replacing Trent Bolt. Let's see if Livingston wants to take him on early. No reason why you can't because it's only 5 overs to go. He hasn't got more than 30 balls to play with. Just blast straight away. He should actually take his first ball heading out of the ground. Hello, some very bizarre running, some very weird looking running attempts there. Emmanuel, my play 11 for England. Tom Haynes, I don't know much better. Alex Hales, Root, but Josh Bohannon, never heard of him. Ben Stokes, Ben Folkes, Johnny Bairstow, Chris Wokes, Broad, Leach, Anderson, Wes Butler. No, I don't agree with that. So Tom Haynes, I've got no idea in this. And he's Josh Bohannon. You need to tell me who these two are. I know very little about them, so it's news to me. Jason Roy would probably be in there. Who's going to captain Australian T20? My future captain for Test cricket is Jason Sanger. I said that before. And ODI, well, I'd like to see Maxwell get a Guernsey, although he's probably too old for that now. It could be anyone. It could be Josh English if he continues playing. Easy answer: no corruption inside another country, especially Australia and England. So, well, there's corruption, I think, in more sports than you imagine, and I wouldn't leave Australia out of it either. Sri Lanka's got the most pronounced. Oh my God, they're corrupt from the top of the board to the bottom of the board, and from every player, officials involved. They quickly blame each other when they're all as bad as each other. Test is not really showing much. That was a rather strange looking pull shot. Tipped down a bit on. Let's see Livingston just tear up. He loves a bit of pace. It's just what most batsmen do when it comes to hitting out of the ground. And there he is. Liam Livingston started already with a massive, gigantic 6 of Ashwin. Hit him right. The screws there, right on the top of the stadium at Wankhede. What a massive 6 that was. The last ball, the over too, would have been good if he started the over that way. The next white ball opened as after Finch and Warner and ODI and T20. Yeah, McDermott's, Inglis's, those are the players that are likely to go through. That's my thoughts. It's now 9:26, and there's people still outside carrying on. Punjab, 4th 132. Samson having a good take to Chahal, who's got incredible figures there of
3 for 17 off 3, I think it is. Probably should be 4. It's not Chahal. Who is this? Is it Prasidi? I think it's Prasidi who's coming on now. What happened to Michael Slater? Well, he was very rude. He made some big mistakes. He got sacked from his job with Fox. He got broken up a relationship. He's basically imploded. I think he might have a drinking problem, something like that's going on. Something's not right with him. A bit sad, but it happens, I'm afraid. So they have 3. Glenn Maxwell out in the middle, the T20 World Cup squad race. Tim David, Josh English. Yeah, well, yeah. You are my brother, you are my sister, you are my son, you are my daughter. Leg, my foot. Only good performance deserves chances in every circumstance. Okay, so Malik is quite profound. I'm not sure what that's all about, but that's well said, I think. Yes. Not behind face of someone's hand. What now you end up being a little snide of the comments there. I get you. I hear you loud and clear. Okay, where are we at with this match now? Did you get to watch that 170 metre by Livingston? Well, he's hit so many 117 metre shots. What are you talking? All Livingston sixes. Here we go. He's hit a truckload. My all-time top 3 commentators are all current. Richie Beno would be out of doubt with Bill Lowry. Then you got Ian Chappell was very good too. He still is very good. Then you got on radio Jimmy Maxwell. Tony Cozy from Western East is very good. Rez Pereira, he was another one. He's another Western East. He's been in the news of late. So 4th with 134 into the 17th over now. Liam Livingston has hit 24 sixes. Josh Butler's at the most with 36. 24 for Livingston. Russell's at 22. Sampson 21. Yeah, Carroll, I think, was 20. Josh Butler's fantastic. Well, Livingston's right up there. He's whacked that straight to the fielder. That was actually Jitesh. Prasti's bowled. He's bowled 3. They got a wicket and 3 singles. So Jonathan Agnew, he's buckled down. I think he's good. He's like Agger's commentary. Yeah, you're right. Norman Weisranger, Chris, going down by the day. Yeah, it's structurally. We got corruption, country implosions, team bad selections, favouritism, etc., etc. All contributed. England had Liam Livingston, Australia had Tim David, India had Surya Kumar and a few others. Shreyas Iyer. Mr. Salmon informed he's involved as a well hit, but a straight to the fielder. Agger's troll on Jeffrey was epic. Yes, that was very, very funny. Buckled that was great. Saw that one on replay. Glenn Maxwell's all 3 T20 hundreds in the opening position. Am I right? So why not board and team give him chances in the opening position? Agree. RCB should do it. That's where it needs to start now. Big no ball there from Ashdeep. I'm going to be on to the end of the innings. It's not very hard. Cash has hit the ball quite well. And he's got away with it. He's got a 4. $138 for 142 for 4 off into the 17th over now. Well, I still need to go a bit quicker than this to get really around the mark they want. They wanted 200. That's looking less likely now. You'd think it's less likely. Hit a ball like that, might be not. A slow ball. You got away with it. Jitesh has shown some good form there. Do you think Stokes could have metal brain anything on his small balls canoes? No, it's not about that. It's about his father. Norman Wiseby or not doing well in Australia. It's because it's just losing interest. It's becoming too long. It's trying to emulate the IPL, and the IPL is the IPL, and where the IPL's not. Surudeep Malik Maxwell hit to the 20th century in India to number 4. Okay, so maybe it wasn't a century, but opening up. Okay. Buckle Dada, what do you think of the ban on Boria? I'm upset about it. I've talked about this already. I think I'm very upset. I think it was too hard. I think it was overstated. He's known Redmond Sahara for a long time. Redmond Sahara is something very public, which I didn't like. The man is an incredible journalist. Some people knock him. It's called the tall poppy syndrome. I've already read up the comments buckled. Right at the beginning of the comments, I've written the word tall poppy syndrome. Where is it? Where is it? There. That's what it is. What you're talking about there. Mitchell Stark, Josh Hader, they play in Super World Cup. You would think they will. Hazelwood, particularly. Stark, we'll see. Charles back on in his last over, 3 for 17. Quite capable of getting wins. This is where he really needs it. He's 4 for 147. 3 overs to go. That's 18 deliveries. That'll see them go to 165 if they get a run of ball, which is a bit over 8 and over. Not enough. At all. Music stopped. What was that shot? It's gone for a whopping 6. So that Jitesh guy, he's certainly taking the mantle here. 153. That was very leg side. So how many years of cricket is left in Smith and Warner? Oh, it's hard to say. I mean, they go until they're pushed. Couple. DeBarshis, Warner still retired. Smith has 4 years. Warner's still retired now. Himanshu, give Warner a bit of a break. He's batting well. Talk about all 300s Himanshu against India and Sri Lanka. Both. Okay. Jitesh is certainly taking over the Livingston mantle here. Maybe it's deliberate. Do you think one of these Supreme Fitness could play till he's 40? He could, but I don't think he will. Himanshu Warner says he wants to play 2023 World Cup and the 23 Ashes. Well, that's only next year, so it's not impossible. Tall poppy syndrome. Read that, guys. Read that. Will anyone eclipse Livingston's 170 metres 6 the IPL? I would say no. It's pretty damn long. Pretty damn long indeed. Four 4.55. Oops. Charles behind well. With 2 overs left after these 3 balls from Chahal. Oh, there's too much bounce. Warner is retired because he's not played every match in his cricket. We'll see. Look at his bank balance first. Chahal, what the hell was that? That was as wide as you can get. 4 for 156. 2 overs left. If they get 170 plus, it'll be an interesting match. Haven't got it yet. What do you think is Australia's number one quick goal now? Winning a series in India? I think it's certainly one that they haven't ticked off, yes. Winning a World Cup in India will be pretty good. Good performance is a good performance. If I am an Indian, I want India to win. But at the same time, if any player plays good knock or takes wicket, obviously I support him or her. Good, well said. Not only Australia can beat India in India. Well, Australia did the unthinkable when they beat Pakistan and Pakistan just recently. So you're right. Let's wait and see. So 2 overs left, 12 balls. If they go run a ball, that's 170, which is par rather than a huge total. But they'll need a few more than that, I reckon, to be certain, especially if Butler gets going. Punjab Kings t-shirts being worn by some of the lookers. Cam Green can play a big part in the Indian tour. He certainly can. Certainly can. As he did somewhat in the tour in Pakistan as well. Come on, let's get these 2 overs done with it. Come on, they're really stuffing around here. Prasad's gone for none for 33. He's going to bowl one of them. So Usher and Charlotte have taken the 4 wickets to 4. None of the medium to fast bowlers have done anything. Do I think Pujara should be brought back in the test group when he's back amongst the ones in county? It might be a swan song for him, but that really is it for him. Tabasha's England and then Pakistan too. Okay. I would say that if they're going to let someone like Pujara get back in for this one-off test in England, this is a swan song type thing, then okay, fair enough. But that'll be it. He won't come back again. I think they've moved on from him. Here we go, 12 balls. Let's see how many runs they can hit off these 12 balls. Well, Livingston's still there, which is the key. He's going to not hold back. Why no one playing 5 matches at ODIs at the moment, even if a team wants to play 3 and 5, because that's the way, because they're all working towards World Cups. T20 is where the World Cups are at the moment. Max Bryant and Matthew Gilks is a good T20 openers. Yes, so much, however, they're not going to be playing for Australia for a long way off. I can assure you. So don't think that they will. They're a long way off from playing for Australia. Matthew Gilks, I don't think so. Max Bryant, I don't know enough about him. He's young. We'll see. It could fall apart. Australia has potential playing test cricket. Obviously does. So Shreyas Iyer as well. He's proven that by scoring a century. Some very bizarre bowling here. Some very wide deliveries. So they added runs unnecessarily. That was way too wide. Way too wide. Well, the stumps with the bowling. Are they everything is wide? Did the Tri-Nation ODI series now get canned? Because it takes too long. In terms of to travel a long way with COVID all that. There is Liam Livingstone's now teeing off big time. This good old Malinga. Lasith Malinga. Clobbered that. Livingston can certainly hit. Is that David Miller? Does he play for Robertson Royals? Yes, he does. My God, there's still 10 deliveries to go. This is agonising. where is Bill Pekoski? How much Shirella? We've been talking about it forever. He's had these injuries, these concussions, and he's back now, and he's sort of making his way into the squads. Aren't you? Future openers McDermott ahead is Adios, Jack Weatherall in T20, and Henry Hunter and Bryce Street in Test cricket. Now, we're going a bit further in the track there. I don't think there's going to be any certainty. Jack Weatherall hasn't quite got there either. And Henry Hunt and Bryce Street, a long way to go. We can start saying that. So, Lucknow Super Giants versus the KKR. So, Himanshu will possibly playing cricket for Victoria. He's playing. He's playing all right. Himanshu's definitely. Shreyas and Vihari take Rahani and Pujara's place. They have, yes. Hardik, Deepak, Shalul, Natarajan, Kuldeep, and Shalul deserve coming back or not. Well, we'll see. Hardik may or may not have win out now. Shalul, yes. Natarajan, yes. Kuldeep, he's on the outer. Is that right? That was the most bizarre shot. So a tennis shot. What was that? Proving expensive over here. 150 or 30 balls there, it's flying. It was so wide. That was, if he walked away, that would have been a wide. Country mile wide. Sorry to say, India don't need Vihari type of player. Number 3, he plays too little. Well, that's what they had. That's what they had. They had. What's his name in there a long time doing it, didn't they? Not Vihari. What was his name again? Oh my God, 10 concussions for basketball. That's all. 10 concussions, they're not playing any cricket, really. Pujara, of course. 5 for 169 off at one more to go to the 9th over. Looks like 170's underway. In fact, Livingston's out. Yep, as I would have expected, you put on the bloody stumps and you're going to get out, aren't you? Livingston bowled Pressity ball on the stumps. That's all he had to do. Any windy cricketers coming up on a show in the future? My show? Oh, let's hope so. I'll try some. Sorry to say that. Okay, Buckled Alzari Joseph, future star, as it looks like. Do you think Soraya should be given a chance for this? Not yet. This has been a long 2 hours of batting here from the Punjab team. With only, an over to go after this delivery. They're going to be around the 170 plus mark, which is not bad. I argue par. Oh, for 4, it has gone for 4. There's another Darwin. Is this Darwin? Chica Darwin's brother, isn't it? Awful full toss, and he's put it away quite handsomely. This is a test match, bro. Every time he wants a number 3, they're this type of course. Surya Kumar Yadav is a good T20 player. That is, and that's it. And he, 32, I think my scream young player's not. Yeah, I would kind of agree with that. Who's this now? Kuldeep Sen's come back on. Oh God, from bottle of Coke. 5-173. Run rate of 9.1. It's pretty good. It's going to be hard for Rajasthan unless Butler goes crazy early on. It's a little bit hard, this performance, to top. Kuldeep's in last over. Must keep it under 180 if he wants to give their team a chance. So 7 off this over or under is a good result. Let's say that he probably won't do that. So, oh my God. 2015 World Cup start. Okay, why are we talking about him for? 7+ years ago. All right. 5 balls left. Rinku Singh was magnificent last time back, although. Oops. It's gone up and over. Good shot. I'm looking forward to more of Rinku Singh in the future, someone. 179. This is a really good finish here. They've got still 4 balls to go. They could do some serious damage here. It's now batting, a score of run rate of more than 9. That's very impressive indeed. Players we didn't expect to do well towards the end have done well. Let's look here. Too much talk, Sampson's let him bowl. It's past almost 10. Five for 179 of 19.2 overs. Sen. Chitest didn't quite get a hold of that. He's actually has. He's got 4. He's on 33 of 15. $183 the total. Still with 3 balls to go. So they're going to strike a run rate more than 9 now. That's going to be very hard to pull back. Look, I'm totally dead quiet downstairs. Completely stopped talking. To test 33 of 15. Great batting. Let's go himself another 4. Oh, God, 187. Australia lost to England because of form. If Stark, no, they love to pick Scott Boland and gyrations and other part of the legal business. Yeah. Canada KKR rule into it too. India have a proper top 6 of only wicketkeepers. Saha, Kartik, Pant, Ishan, Clamson, Jitesh, and KRL. Well, a lot of keeper batsmen. Sangakkara, Kochenek, he was the keeper. Norman Kochenek. $188. probably around 9.5. 1.48 at the moment. With a ball to go. They got more than 2 or more. They've got 1. This is a mammoth score, and I think it's going to a little bit make it almost unattainable for Rajasthan. Of course, Butler's got to go early. Kuldeep Singh, Sen, the last ball, like Tabash Sen, my friend. It was a full toss. It was a pretty ordinary one. They are now 189. Was that a no ball? So 9.5 and over. Rajasthan Royals need. Having a chat with it, it's a no ball.
Who has been your favourite Indian batsman bowler to watch this IPL? Indian batsman, well, I mean, I think of KKR Rahul for sure. Bowler, probably Shahal. That's it. All right, guys, that's the end of me with now PBKS on 189 for 5 after their 20 overs. Just borderline on 9.5. Pretty good effort. Indeed. So we'll call it quits there. Of course, Punjab have to bowl now to, thanks to the stream on. Thank you, Bakul Dada. Yeah, so you also forgot Tim Payne. Tim Payne can't captain, he's not playing. Anyway, so all right. Punjab Kings got 189. It's going to be very hard for Rajasthan Royals to take this down. Of course, the next match, don't forget, Lucknow Super Giants versus Kolkata Knight Riders. Probably see Lucknow in that, and both Lucknow go through to the top with Rajasthan and Gujarat. All right, guys, talk to you tomorrow. Looking at best 7 hours of a little discussion, but after that, we'll see you all again. Thank you, guys.